Recently, I was going through a folder of some of my old art.
Anything before 2017 folder.
Everything in this folder is pre-2017 or older, which means I was 10 years old or younger when I made them.
This is the Scarlet from Fairy Tale, my bad.
I was just browsing, looking for a piece of old art I'd potentially want to redraw when I stumbled upon this.
Okay.
This, as far as I remember, is my first or maybe second real attempt at making a comic, and looking at the art, you can definitely tell it was made by an elementary schooler. So today we're gonna start the process of redrawing this old childhood comic to make it better, to see how much I've improved over the past almost decade. Or if I've improved at all. Hopefully I have. This episode is gonna be dedicated to redesigning the characters, but first, let's see what the comic is actually about. Okay, so once again, keep in mind, I made this when I was probably 10 years old, so not too much on the storytelling, guys. I probably tried my best. This is me. My name's Quinn. Aspiring actor, wants to design clothes, A-/B+ student. I'm what most people in May High School call a pop, short for popular. That's so cringe. There are different groups for different people. I don't really agree with this, but at least everyone fits in somewhere. Jocks, this is her boyfriend Jake apparently, I bet he's a jerk. There are the pop/cheerleaders. Then there are the nerds, the geeks, the goths, the middle class, the wannabes, etc., etc. Like I said, most people fit in somewhere, but when you finally think you've got everything figured out, life throws a curveball. This is the curveball. Shono Hines. Okay, he doesn't fit in. People are so scared of him, they usually don't look him in the eyes. Even teachers don't have the courage to tell him covering his face isn't allowed. Oh, period. This was pre-pandemic, by the way, I'd like you to know. He always wears 2 crystal necklaces, an oversized t-shirt, and you can't forget his signature mouth thingy. Everyone who's ever looked at his eyes say they looked cold and lifeless. But is that the whole truth? Why in the world is there a Helen Keller quote? Anyway, so I did end up cutting a lot out of my read-through just so that segment wouldn't be too long, but there is an extended version at the end if you want to check that out with more commentary. This is my friend May. I love how I'm so indecisive about everything. I'm like, I'm not gonna put this in pen just in case I want to change her name, you know? Miss Quinn is gonna be seated next to Shono, and that's gonna be the start of their romance. Because this is a romance. Obviously, because you can freaking see them holding hands behind a tree. Now I really want to jump right into the redesigns and my thoughts on how the story would have progressed if I had finished it. Starting with the MC herself. First off, there were a few things I wanted to shift about Quinn's design because truly it was all over the place. Her hat does go along with her thespian fashion designer bio in the beginning, but literally nothing else about her works. Her gloves and outfit are giving very much so athletic, which makes sense to me if she's going to be one of the most popular girls in school. So I had to make a decision. Do I push her base design more towards the athletic side or more towards her actor side? And in the end, I did decide to make her more athletic for a variety of reasons. Primarily because I hate that stupid hat and it had to go. I'm so sorry. She can still have her dreams of being an actor and all that, but I've decided that her main thing is going to be track and field because I can think of more story beats arising from that concerning her and her boyfriend Jake. Now let's talk a little bit about her character. Obviously, this story is very cliche, and that's something 10-year-old Lena and 18-year-old Lena both have in common. We love cliches. So, stereotypically, in a romance story like this, we'd have the main girl who would be extremely kind and help everybody, while also falling into some miscommunication traps. And that's exactly what I think should happen in this story because who am I to stray from the gospel? Basically, Quinn is dating her boyfriend Jake, and even though he's a bit of a player and he's a bit controlling, they're happy together. Then Quinn accidentally befriends Shono because they now sit next to each other, and they start getting close, and she becomes determined to help him out by making him popular. You know, all the dumb stuff happens. She gives him a makeover, he turns out handsome, they start training, he gets ripped, she teaches him how to smile, all that junk. Meanwhile, Jake is getting jealous and more of his toxic personality starts coming out as he starts to bully Shono and taking his anger out on Quinn. Shono defends Quinn or whatever, they fall in love, happily ever after. Now, do I ever plan on finishing this story? Absolutely not. But it is fun to imagine how it would go, and knowing the ending can help inform some design choices, and maybe some foreshadowing as well. And here she is, Quinn in all her glory. And I do recognize this outfit might not be appropriate for most schools, so I made this version with a jacket as well. My school didn't have a dress code, or at least nobody followed it, so people would wear whatever they wanted, but I thought I'd make this one just in case.
Now it's time to talk about the male lead Shono, what I think his deal is, and how that influenced his redesign. Let's get into it.
Let's start off talking about what I think his personality is. I imagine Shono to be very quiet and socially inept. Like, he's the kind of guy in fiction that needs to be taught how to smile and taught how to sugarcoat his words. Basically the opposite of Quinn. Luckily, opposites attracting is one of my favorite tropes. And like I said earlier, I fully plan on him having his makeover glow-up moment, so I decided to give him hair that fully covers his eyes so that when he gets his hair cut, it's a big reveal that he's very attractive. Now, I'm only drawing what he looks like with his eyes covered here because that's all I need for the redraw, but just imagine what a handsome anime man looks like and you're on the right track. Now to tackle the elephant in the room. What in the world are these two crystals hanging around his neck? To be perfectly honest, I have no idea. Knowing my younger self, they're probably magical and he is the son of like the Demon King or something stupid like that, but as it is 18-year-old Lena revamping this comic, I also get to change the plot as I like, so even though once upon a time these were definitely hints to magic, we're scrapping all of that. But now I need to come up with a new reason for these necklaces to exist, and so I thought to myself, what's better than magic? Childhood trauma! I haven't fully fleshed this out because I don't really care, but maybe these necklaces are childhood keepsakes from his parents before they died or something, I don't know. I actually have no ideas for these crystals, but I couldn't get rid of them because the comic makes them seem so important, so if one of you have a better idea for what these could be, please let me know. I fear my creativity has run dry. Anyway, here's the final product, and if any of you comment that he looks similar to another one of my characters, no he doesn't, I don't know what you're talking about, let's move on.
And now I am all done. These are the final designs for now, but knowing me, I'll probably make a few more changes whilst I draw the actual comic. But right now, I'd say the leads are looking pretty good. I also made these sketches of Jake and May, Quinn's boyfriend and best friend, which I'll finish later. For now, I just have a few questions about how I'm going to do the comic itself. Like, am I going to do a webtoon style or am I going to do it page style like it was in the original? Am I going to do it in black and white or color? And am I going to redraw the comic exactly as it is, flaws and all? Or am I going to make an attempt to rewrite some of the dialogue to make it actually make sense, you know? Let me know what you guys think in the comments because in the next episode of the series, we're going to get started on the actual redraw. I'm so excited, so stay tuned. And also unrelated, but if you're on the lookout for more Unghost content, you'll be pretty excited to see my next video, I think. Anyway, stay if you'd like and enjoy my full read-through of the comic. It is pretty long, so I'd recommend 2x speed, but yeah, have a great day.
Okay, so once again, keep in mind, I made this when I was probably 10 years old, so not too much on the storytelling, guys. I probably tried my best. This is me. My name's Quinn. Aspiring actor, wants to design clothes, A-/B+ student. Ooh, I guess I was trying to show her social media. Quinn, 2K friends, that's not, 20K friends, that's crazy. The social media is called Instasnap because I'm very creative. I'm what most people in May High School call a pop, short for popular. That's so cringe. Do any of you guys know what LPS popular is? Probably not. There's probably a very, very small minority of you that know what LPS popular is. But I can already tell this is inspired by that because that was the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. There are different groups for different people. I don't really agree with this, but at least everyone fits in somewhere. Jocks, this is her boyfriend Jake apparently. I bet he's a jerk. There are the pop / cheerleaders. Then there are the nerds, the geeks, the goth, the middle class, the wannabes, etc., etc. This is awful. Oh wait, you can kind of see I made this whole page on the back of this one, but like I switched it over to this one, I guess because the marker bled through. Let's see if you can kind of see that. That's really funny. Like I said, most people fit in somewhere, but when you finally think you've got everything figured out, life throws a curveball. This is the curveball. Shono Hines. Shono? His name's Shono? Okay, he doesn't fit in. People are so scared of him, they usually don't look him in the eyes. Even teachers don't have the courage to tell him covering his face isn't allowed. Oh, period. This was pre-pandemic, by the way. I'd like you to know. I was ahead of the times. This was pre-pandemic. He always wears 2 crystal necklaces, an oversized t-shirt. That's not a t-shirt. It has freaking long sleeves. And you can't forget his signature mouth thingy. I didn't even know what it was called. Period. His signature mouth thingy. Oh, how I love pre-pandemic era. That is so funny. Everyone who's ever looked at his eyes say they looked cold and lifeless. But is that the whole truth? Oh, I love how I just didn't draw the hands. I was like, I'll get back to this later. And then I didn't. Why in the world is there a Helen Keller quote? Anyway, have you ever had the feeling that something amazing might happen? Ring, ring, ring. Well, today was one of those days. Ring, ring, ring. First try. She turns off the alarm first try, I guess. From the moment I woke up, I was uncommonly energized. It felt good. I decided to make breakfast for my jerk sister. Wait, is it poisoned? Oh, that's cute. And instead of taking the bus, yep, one of those days where you ride your bike. Okay, Slay Queen. I guess she's walking, someone notices her, touches her on the shoulder. Did you hear the latest rumor about the kid that we thought just had a lot of pimples? Well, it turns out he did have chicken pox. Can you believe it? Chicken pox are so 1900s. Blah, 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 blah. This is my friend May. I love how I'm so indecisive about everything. I'm like, I'm not gonna put this in pen just in case I want to change her name, you know? She's in love with rumors and gossip. She changes her hair a lot. Oh, okay. That's why it's different from these. Blah, 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 blah. Are you listening? Yep. Can I just say, that facial expression, fire. I ate that up. And also, why doesn't May have eyebrows ever? Even May's crazy wasn't gonna ruin my perfect day. Nothing could, I thought. On days like this, I really like being a pop. Oh, parting the way for her. So she's in a crowd and people are parting. You know what? This is also inspired by Heathers for sure. Loved me some Heathers in 5th grade. This is definitely inspired by Heathers. Cause like, you know how like they part the way when the Heathers come through? Period. That's so stupid. You can tell this is written by somebody who never went to high school. A pop at May High School is short for popular. Girl, we know. We know. They kind of just gave me this title, but at least I usually get to class on time. Chatter, chatter, chatter. Ring, ring, ring. Period. See how she just barely got to class on time? Everyone else is already sitting. Delinquent. Okay, guys, I know I let you pick your seats earlier this quarter, but there have been some issues, so I made a chart, and then everyone's upset. And then that's where it ends. Period. Okay, obviously she means she made a seating chart, and I feel very obviously that what's gonna happen next is Miss Quinn is gonna be seated next to Shono, and that's gonna be the start of their romance, because this is a romance, obviously, because you can freaking see them holding hands behind a tree back here, wherever that is. That was so crazy, but is that the whole truth? That his eyes are lifeless? Probably not. That's probably not the whole truth. Why are they acting like I can't tell that that's him? Like, obviously that's freaking Shono or whatever his name is.